Happy Friday, everyone. It's me, Kenny Dianne, and today I'm here with Patrick Washington, CEO and co-publisher of the Dallas Weekly newspaper. So, Patrick, I saw on the Dallas Weekly website, dallasweekly.com, that you attended Booker T. Washington.
I did. I attended Arts Magnet between 97 and 2001. A lot of friends there. Still have friends that I am involved with that I met there. And yeah, Dallas institution, not first, one of the Black high schools in Dallas. Really proud of that alumni.
Yeah, that's one of the high schools that I'm looking forward to going to.
Oh, well, good luck in getting in.
Thank you. So the first question is, what made you want to start your own business or take over a business?
Well, it's both, actually. I started and took over because I wanted to start my own business because I was raised by an entrepreneur. My father, who owned the Dallas Weekly, never really said that it was my responsibility to take over the Weekly, but he did make it very clear that I was supposed to be in control of whatever profession or career and finances that I was going to choose. I just so happened to, I was a film major in college. I went to Clark Atlanta University in Atlanta, Georgia, studying in mass media and film, and I moved out to California. I didn't like California a lot. I like the industry. I like the movies. I liked some of that, but some of the other things I really wasn't keen on continuing. So I called my father. He sort of casually mentioned, why don't I just come home and work for him for a while to get back on my feet, and we'll see what happens from there. I had always had an idea that I wanted to be in media, obviously, but didn't really look at my own family business to say that could be a foundation until my father asked me to come back. I started working for him, doing a little bit more than I was allowed to do in my teenage years, and saw that there was an opportunity to do what I wanted to do, which was on a base level filmmaking, but media development, specifically for our community, African American community. And that was how I began my path of moving towards taking over the Weekly. Wasn't an easy road. If anybody knows, transitioning of family businesses is not always simple, but we did make it happen. Paperwork was signed. I now am owner of the company. I co-publish with my father, who is living in Atlanta now, and my wife is also my second in command, so it's still a family business. And I'm really happy to be here, able to continue this legacy.
What struggles have you ran into being a Black business owner?
Quite a bit. Could we just say the broad form of racism and just leave it there, or or we have to get specific? There's a lot. I mean, it's not a secret that it's going to be challenging being a business owner at all, especially being a Black business owner or minority business owner. The challenges come in many forms, from everything from financing to partnerships that doors you're able to get into, those kind of things. It's not easy, but the reward is when when it succeeds in what you plan on doing, it's just that much more rewarding because you understand the challenges, whether it be the bank won't give you a loan, even though your non-Black colleague that got the same loan and has less than you, that kind of thing. Sometimes people look at what you are or where you are. We're in South Dallas. South Dallas has a stigma in our community, so people sometimes don't even want to come to our office. Well, of course, that was before the pandemic. Now no one wants to come to the office. But it's the same issues that I think that Black America deals with on a micro level. If Black America deals with white supremacy and racism, Black businesses deal with that on an economic, financial, and business level. And it's something that everyone who goes into business should be aware of, should understand as much as possible, and have strategies to pivot, move around, adapt, and all those things, because it is going to happen.
How long has this business been active?
We've been around for over 65 years now. I think it's 66. We started off, Tony Davis was the founder of the Dallas Weekly in 1954, passed it to my father in 1985, who then passed it to me in 2019. So we have been around. We will continue to be around, and hopefully the next generation will be able to take it over again.
What is most important in your business?
What's most important in our business is the community involvement, the integrity we have to keep that is directly linked to that community. We do not allow ourselves to waver or falter when it comes to serving the Black community. You know, that's the most important, and that can sometimes lead to things where sacrifices have to be made, where our community doesn't have as much money, so we would have to drop advertising rates. That's not a problem for us. You know, we know that's going to happen. We understand that sometimes people don't always have the what they'll call credibility, meaning the background. Like, we talk to a lot of people who have been to jail, who have had, you know, trying times in their lives, that other people might say, because of that, you're not as credible. We don't do that. You know, we have to be a pillar in our community. We have to be something that they know is where integrity means something, where honesty and loyalty mean something, that we don't do shock things, we do things that affect us. And so the most important, just to reiterate, is our connectivity, our honesty, our integrity with our own community.
How would you describe your business in 3 words?
Ooh, 3 words. Integral, connective, and transparent.
Okay, those are some good words. And where do you see your business success in 5 to 10 years?
I see us being a key player in the digital media community. I see us spreading around the world, literally around the world, through our website, mobile apps, social presence, etc., and cultivating Black voices from around the globe to, you know, contextualize not only for ourselves, but for the global audience, who and what we are and what we represent, and to stand on that, you know, no matter what. You know, it doesn't matter whatever you think, stereotypes, characterizations of us, we will be the ultimate authority on who we are. And I want our brand, our company, to be that voice, to be, you know, something that promotes that.
Do you have any competition?
Technically, yes. Yes, in a business sense, we have people who do what we do. There are people who own companies that do kind of what we do. But when it comes to competition, I really don't look at it as competition, especially amongst the Black press. If you're going to look at mainstream, yeah, that could be some competitive things, because we want to be able to be the voice of ourselves first. Typically, because of the resources of the mainstream media, they are able to quote unquote cover our community faster. I don't always think they cover it the best. And so I think that, just to, you know, kind of go back to what I was saying, the idea of us being that voice kind of handles that. Even if somebody gets to it first, I feel like our community, even now, waits for us to say something, even if it's maybe a week later, because they're going to know that what we're saying isn't, here's some flashy news that happened and then move on. It's going to be, here's the thing, here's how it affects you, here's what you probably should do to think about it in the future. And I hope that answered your question. I know it's a little vague, but that's kind of where my brain is. That's an interesting question. So go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like competition makes you better.
It does. And I, you know, just to piggyback off makes you better, the Black press in general, which is our industry, has had to have multiple people doing it because of just the threat that we understand. If you go back even 50 years back to, like, well, now it's like 60 years, around the Emmett Till time, Black journalists weren't even allowed in the courtroom, you know, that kind of thing. It's like, so how are you going to have this story about racism? It's an obviously racial crime, and we can't even speak about it to see that, you know, that. So the competition is, yeah, it's there, but in some sense, we kind of need all those people in our industry to say, hey man, I couldn't get there, could you? And as competition goes, we really should be sharing more. You know, our competition should be the mainstream, you know, but unfortunately, because of business, because of, you know, region or whatever, we sometimes find ourselves at odds with each other, trying to just scrape over the dollars so that we can do the job. And I think it's a painful necessity in a capitalist society, but at the same time, if we know it's like that, we can work around it and work with each other to, you know, make those challenges lessen.
Last question. What is the core of your business?
The core of our business, and it's going to sound cliche, is the Black community. We have to be representative, we have to be vocal, we have to be a pillar, we have to be all these things for our community so that our community can thrive and survive. So that core has to be this love of Blackness in all its forms, good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter. It has to be this spiritual love of your own people. And if you don't have it, and especially in the Black press, you will end up being the voice of the mainstream with a Black face. And so the core of any Black business, I believe, has to be that love of your community, has to be that love of your people, has to be that love of your history, the ideologies, even if they're contradictory to your personal beliefs. You have to love that people can get out there and say these controversial things that challenge mainstream or so-called white idealism or white supremacy. You have to be able to applaud that at any given moment and not be scared of the repercussions of that. And that has to be so deep in your soul that nothing can shift it off its point. So that is the core of our business. I hope that is the core of all Black businesses, which we all pray for.
Yes, well, that is the end of this interview. So thank you for letting us interview you.
Thank you for having me, Kenny. I really do appreciate it. I love that you're a young person doing this stuff, reaching out to Black business owners. It's great.
Well, thank you. It was really a pleasure.